flashlight, floor. This looks so funny. Hey. What's going on? Thanks for clicking on my video or for letting it autoplay or whatever, however you got here. Glad you're here. Thanks for coming. So, today we are going to talk about 5 random tips for new technicians or new mechanics coming into the field or who think they might want to get into the field. They're gonna be all over the place. So here we go. Number 1 is don't make everything a question. Like, do as much as you possibly can to try to figure out whatever your question is. Like, if you're working in a shop and you have a question about something that you're just not sure about, make sure you do as much as possible to try to get as much information on it as possible before you try to go ask another technician for some help. Basically, just remember their time is just as valuable as your time is. Like, be as appreciative as possible of the time that other techs are giving you to try to help you diagnose or repair whatever car you diagnosing and repairing, because they got cars over here that they got to work on too. So keep that in mind. Always be aware of that. Always be aware of the fact that they don't have to help you unless they're like your actual mentor and they're supposed to, like, they're paid to help you. But otherwise, like, yeah, they doing it out of the kindness of their heart, or I guess to pay it forward for when somebody did it back in the day for them when they were coming up too in the field. So use the provided resources as much as humanly possible. When I say provided resources, I mean like service information for GM dealers, because that's like what I've done mostly. ALLDATA, Mitchell, Identifix, whatever. Like, whatever you got, use that as much as you can until you either find the answer or you find out that you can't find the answer. And only then should you go to another technician. Like, don't make the other technicians your first resource for an answer to your question, unless like you have some sort of like special relationship with them where you know that you can do that. I guess do that. Like, if they tell you should do that, maybe like they know that they'll know whatever is going on, that they'll know about it more than the resource would, like ALLDATA or whatever. Then okay, go to them. Like, I mean, if you know that it's okay, of course do that, because I mean that's probably gonna be faster anyway. But just don't, like, if you don't have that option, don't try to use other technicians as your like Google or whatever. I don't know. Like, you know, just like I said, their time is just as valuable as your time. So like, they got other cars to fix just like you got cars to fix. So keep that in mind. Try to do as much as possible on your own before you try to go and get help from somebody else, especially if they get paid flat rate, because you already know time is money, especially with flat rate. Basically commission. Yeah, because if you are somebody who's not trying to look up the answer or find a solution yourself in the first place, nobody's gonna want to help you. Like, they basically doing the work for you, and then you getting paid for them doing your work. Like, that don't make no sense. Nobody wants to help somebody who doesn't want to help themselves. Be considerate of that. I mean, if you didn't get in this field to do your own work, if you got in this field for somebody else to do your work for you, then you may as well find another job, because this ain't it. But if you have an open invite to ask them questions or to get help from them whenever you need it, then I would suggest to, like with diagnosis, try at least 20 minutes on your own. Take 20 minutes to find the answer on your own. Most diagnoses that would take that long anyway, you would be getting paid an hour for. Like electrical diagnosis and engine performance stuff, drivability stuff, transmission, that's drivability, in a way. I would suggest, if you can't find the answer after 20 minutes, or if you still have the same question after 20 minutes, then go get help from a more experienced technician. If it's a mechanical issue, like if you are doing the repair at the time and you need help, you still need help getting something off or getting something on or tightening something or loosening a bolt or nut or I don't know, whatever. If you still need help with that after 10 minutes, this is what was suggested to me by one of my mentors. Just do 10 minutes. If you still can't get it off after 10 minutes, if you still can't fit the I don't know, the hose into the fitting after 10 minutes, whatever it is, then go get you some help. Ask for help. Because, you know, like at the end of the day, time is money, especially if you're getting paid flat rate. So make sure you use your time wisely, but also make sure that you're as aware of everyone else's time as you can be, including the customer's time, Just try to do everything in as timely a manner as possible, while also considering that quality is more important than quantity. And I will not stop saying that, because that is number one, at least in my opinion, in my career. For me, quality over quantity is always going to be what I go by, because I mean, at the end of the day, if you focus on quality more than you focus on how many cars you can get done in a certain amount of time, then more times than not, you're going to get the job done right the first time, as opposed to somebody who focuses on getting more cars done rather than doing more quality work. They're going to have an issue with a lot of comebacks, basically. You don't want comebacks. Comebacks are bad. We don't like comebacks. And of course, if there's an issue where something is taking longer to diagnose than normal, let somebody know so that they can, I guess, inform the customer accordingly. I've had many issues with this. So many issues. Just be respectful of everybody's time. Be appreciative of the time they give you. I don't know why I said that 3 times, but it's very important apparently. I mean, it is, so we gonna leave that. Number 2 is kind of ties into the whole respect thing. Just basically treat all other technicians the way you want to be treated. Even if they don't treat you the way you want people to treat you, treat them the way that you want them to treat you. Like, I know for some people, you probably like, man, that don't make sense. If they not respecting me, then I don't gotta respect them and blah, blah, blah. I get it. However, depending on what type of person you are, you should be more concerned with what you can do for other people and how you can show other people the right way, rather than trying to show people how big and bad you are, I guess, or trying to even things out. I don't know, like if they not respecting me, I don't gotta respect them. Like, I get that for sure. Like, I'm just saying, like, you don't gotta be rude just because somebody being rude to you. Like, if you get what I'm saying. Like, we just gonna talk about me personally. Me personally, I've had a few technicians just not really be all that nice to me, but it's cool or whatever. I don't even care. In that event, I was still as nice to them as I am to everybody. I will say, at sometimes, I was not always that nice. I was sometimes not just as rude, because that's just not me, but like, there was times. I can't think of a specific instance right now, the full story, I should say, but you live and you learn, okay? And it's hard sometimes to be nice to people that's rude to you. However, that is my ultimate goal in life. Well, one of them, to just try to show people a better way, even if they are not easy to work with. But yeah, you make mistakes, you live and you learn. I mean, I ain't never like beat nobody up because they was rude, but like, sometimes I just haven't been the nicest. Most of the time it's just not talking to them, honestly. Moving past that and growing in life all the time, constantly, I would say, to treat people the way that you would want to be treated in every situation, instead of trying to one-up somebody or be just as rude as they being to you or whatever. So yeah, along with the respect thing, treat other technicians' tools the way that you would want somebody else treating your tools. Even if you don't treat your tools like the best, it don't matter. Treat other people's tools the way that you know they should be treated. Like, if you have a good relationship with another technician and they let you borrow their tools all the time, then that's cool. Like, that's what's up. That's good. However, still watch what you do. Like, that don't mean like get leisurely. That don't mean start just doing whatever with somebody's stuff. Like, no, like, always treat somebody's stuff the same way you would want somebody to treat your stuff. When somebody's tool breaks in my possession, I replace it every time. I replace it, even if it was on its last leg, unless they be like, you know what, that tool was already on its last leg. Like, I'm not gonna have you replace this tool knowing that it was about to break anyway, like, which I would very much appreciate. But yeah, like, if somebody's tool breaks in my possession, I always replace it. For example, a couple months ago, I borrowed this other tech's tool. I borrowed his T40 and it broke. Like when I was using it, I don't know what I was using it for, but it broke. And the next time the Mack truck came around, I think it was the next day, I bought two. I bought one for him and one for me. One to replace his, of course, and then one for me because I didn't have one, which is why I was borrowing. What do they call it? I think that's integrity. Yeah, just be integrous. Is that a word? Integrous, I guess. But yeah, just have integrity. Do what you would want somebody else to do for you in that situation. And that includes if you're the technician whose tool broke in somebody else's possession and you knew that tool was on its last leg and you gonna just let them buy you another one when you already knew it was about to break. Like, don't do that. I wouldn't do that. That's not cool. But I mean, I can only suggest to you what you should do. I can't really tell you what to do, but I mean, that's what I would do. Just be 100 about it. Be a stand-up guy, be a stand-up girl, and just tell them, like, this broke. What you want me to do? Or just replace it. Whatever. Like, at the end of the day, you gonna feel better about yourself and how you acted in a situation, no matter what the situation was, because you know you did the right thing at the end of the day. So my other rule for borrowing tools, well, this is kind of random, but if I borrow someone else's tool within three or more times within a certain time frame, I just get myself one. Because like if it's like within like 2 or 3 weeks, especially if it's in like 1 week and it's like 3 different jobs, like, yeah, I'm gonna get myself one. Because I mean, at this point, I probably just need one. Like, I'm not gonna keep on asking this person for the same tool. Like, first of all, they're gonna get irritated at some point, possibly, and start being like, no, I don't want to loan you my tools no more. Or they're just gonna, be like passive aggressive about it, I guess, and like loan it to you but not really want to, which I also understand. That's my rule for borrowing tools. If they break in your possession, replace it. If I borrow it more than one time, within a certain time frame, then I replace it. Then I get myself one. If it's like a commonly used tool, then I get it. But like sometimes there's a tool like that where you'll learn that. I guess mostly in the dealership world, there will be jobs that come that you have like spurts of, like, so there's a lot of these jobs happening at this moment, like within these couple of weeks or whatever, like from a whole bunch of different cars, but the same type of job, and then you don't see that job again for months. So when it comes to that tool situation, look at each situation and consider, like, if you think you'll really need this tool, or if you think this is a job that's not gonna be something that you're gonna be doing very often in the near future. Otherwise, you might be wasting money on that tool, but you'll probably end up needing it at some point in the future if you continue to do this job anyway. So you gotta kind of gauge it on your own at that point. Back to the way you treat people's tools. So cover your butt. If you don't want nobody thinking that you did something to somebody's tools, don't be alone with somebody else's tools. Don't be in this person's area where their toolbox is and their tool cart or whatever. Don't be in their area if you don't want nobody to try to like say that you was around their tools while they wasn't there. If you don't want nobody claiming that you stole something of theirs, or if something come up missing out their toolbox, they have like great reason to say that you took it if you was over there by yourself. You see what I'm saying? Don't do that. Yeah, just don't be around their tools when they're not there. If they like got their head buried in like an engine or whatever, like in a car at all somehow, and they can't visibly see the people that's in their area, they can't see like their tools or whatever. If you going over there, you need to make sure that you are as far away from their tools as possible. Like if you got to talk to them or something, like you can be over there, like just go directly to them. Like let's say they working inside the car underneath like the steering wheel or something. Like go directly to them. Don't scare them, because that'd be irritating. People come up to me, talk to me while my head is buried into something. Like, no, don't do that. Like, jingle some keys or something while you walking up. Like, that's so irritating. I know people don't do it on purpose, but like, it's still irritating. But anyway, you make sure you not nowhere near their tools for nobody to accuse you of nothing. Okay? Got it? Good. Yeah, just make sure that they can see you or hear you, that you're in a vicinity that's nowhere near their stuff. And I know that's like it seems like super intense, like I'm being super intense about it, but like, I ain't never got accused of taking up body tools. I'm just saying, like, don't put yourself in a position to get accused, basically. I guess it comes with the territory. Don't get nobody no reason to suspect you, and that way you'll never have to worry if something happens with this person's tools, because you was never in a position to even be able to take or touch their stuff. So this video is just random and all over the place, so it doesn't really have like a set topic, I guess. It's just tips. So here we go. Tip number 3. When you are working on a car and you drop, like if you drop a bolt or something, I would suggest from experience, I would suggest that you always look down. Like just look down. Like, okay, for example, let's say you working on a car, like under the car or something, and one of the bolts that you was taking out or putting in drops. Make sure you look, because otherwise, I'm trying to tell you, it's going to take much less time for you to just look down, stop what you're doing. You don't got to move your hands, just stop what you're doing, look down, and watch wherever that bolt rolls to, and then you don't even got to go get it right now. Just watch where it rolls to, unless there's like holes in the ground or something for like exhaust ports or whatever. That it could get stuck in. Also, as long as it's not like possibly driven over by the cars that's driving through the service lane or through the shop or whatever. With whatever you're doing up here, get to a stopping point and then go get the bolt. It's going to take much less time. I'm trying to tell you, it's going to take so much less time for you to just look and watch where the bolt goes than it will take for you to have to find that bolt 9 times out of 10. Because if you don't look, I'm trying to tell you, bro. I'm trying to tell you. If you don't look, oh my gosh. This just happened to me like yesterday. Literally yesterday this happened. Oh my gosh, I was so mad. It's so irritating when I lose a bolt like that. Like, thankfully that one only took me like 30 seconds to find, but it can take, sometimes you don't even find bolts. Like, I'm trying to tell you, bolts are like masters of like blending in. Like bolts, nuts, whatever you drop, it is like a washer. I don't know. They're masters at blending in with the floor. Even if the floor is not dirty, like even if it's a gray floor, like it could be that color gray, right there. That's the color right here. This is the color that the floor was at the dealership that I just was working at. Don't fall much. Okay. That's the color of the floor that they had in the shop that I was just previously working at. Bro, bolts are so good at blending in. It's crazy. I know that they're gray. Some of them are gray, silver, whatever. But even if it's like a dirty, like super dirty, like black with dirt bolt, like they good at blending in. Like that's all I can say. Like the floor could be spotless. They know how to blend in. I don't know. It's crazy. It's really irritating, honestly. But yeah, it's a suggestion. You take it or leave it. But I'm trying to tell you, it's going to help you in the long run if you just look down, watch where the bolt goes, and get back to what you was doing. Get the bolt later or whatever you can do at the time. Like, it's a suggestion. Take it or leave it. But yeah, another thing with finding bolts, actually, I got this tip from another Master Tech. So, hey, look, take it or leave it. But basically, when you're trying to find a bolt, you can get on the floor, like eye level with the floor. Like this is the floor and you eye level. Like, I guess you can't be halfway under the floor, but like get eye level with the floor, whatever. Get you a flashlight, put it on the floor and just like search across the floor. And I promise you, it'll be so much easier to find a bolt rather than trying to look at it from an aerial view, because you're looking like at the same level and you can see something sticking up. Like, I know it might sound crazy, but like, take it or leave it. Like, that's all I can say. I'm about to show you. So I left my flashlight at work, but that's okay. Because I have this and it's like a similar size to my flashlight, size and shape. So that works, I guess. Not that it would have mattered if it wasn't similar, but FYI, I usually bring my flashlight home with me because when I go in the morning, I have to turn the lights on sometimes because a lot of the time I'm the first one there. It'd be rats in there sometimes, and I don't want to step on no rats. I bring it home with me so I can have it on me when I walk it in instead of having to walk through the dark, basically. Example, flashlight, floor. Put it on the floor and just like a searchlight. This looks so funny. Just put it on the floor and search. That's it. It makes sense, I promise. Like, just try it. Like, next time you lose a bolt, hopefully there isn't a next time. Anyway, number 4, be motherfreaking considerate. Okay, I'm sorry. I gotta relax. I know. I got a little upset because people just don't be being considerate, and it's irritating. But but number 4 is just to be considerate of all the other technicians. Basically, be considerate of the next guy. For example, when you're using a shop tool or one of the shop machines like the trans flush machine or the coolant flush machine, if you use a coolant flush machine, I don't know, all the shop tools, like at the GM shops, we have special tools for certain jobs, like crank pulleys or crank pulley pullers. It's like a whole big room full of special tools. I don't know, for special jobs. Anyway, be considerate, okay? Put the tools back where they go when you're done with them, okay? It's that simple. Like, put the tools back where you know that other people are going to look for them because that's where they belong. I don't like, what's so hard about that? I don't get it. When you using a shop machine, like a trans flush machine, for example, our trans flush machine you had to empty the trans fluid out of the machine after you did your flush. Empty the trans flush machine before you even put the machine back, okay? If it's like a rush job, okay, I get it. Go back at the end of the day and empty the machine before you put it back where it go. Or go back at the end of the job if you have time. I mean, if it's not like, I don't know. Go back at the end of the job when the job is done and empty the trans flush machine. Sorry, my TV is distracting me. But yeah, like, be considerate. I don't get that. Like, people be irritating and I just can't. But I learned to deal. I really dislike inconsiderate people because I feel like I'm very considerate and I strive to be as considerate as possible. So it's very annoying. That's neither here nor there. I'm gonna relax and I will digress. But that's irritating. Oh yeah, and like the brake, oh my gosh, the brake lathe. I forgot all about that. Bro, clean the brake lathe when you're done. Like, okay, let me relax. Let me chill. Please clean the brake lathe when you're done. Because what you may or may not realize is that when the brake lathe has all those shreds of metal on it, they could get caught up in whatever type parts of the brake lathe that it could get caught up in and mess up the brake lathe, which is, I'm sure, thousands of dollars to fix or replace. And then people just gonna be without a brake lathe. Oh man, it's coming off. I just pulled that. I was taking my hair down today anyway. People is just gonna be without a brake lathe if the brake lathe goes out, and people not gonna be able to get brake jobs done, or they gonna have to just suggest replacement rotors until the time that they get a new brake lathe. I'm sorry. A brake lathe is what people use to cut machine rotors to basically renew them, renew the surface to make it smooth again for the new brake pads when you get a brake job on a disc brake setup. So, yeah, like clean, like it's just, all you gotta do is take a little brush. The brush is right there. Just brush it on off. That's it. Like, I don't know why, like, that's how you hold the brush. I mean, it's like a paintbrush. But it's a big paintbrush. You just flick them off. That's it. Just clean it off. Pretty sure that's the reason that they have you clean off the brake lathe. It's been a while, so I don't really remember. But I clean the brake lathe. I believe I clean it every time. I don't know. It's literally been a while since I did some brakes. Since I machined some brakes, because at my last place we didn't machine rotors because the lathe was, I don't know why we didn't machine rotors actually. They always would say just replace the rotors. I don't know. I think it was something to do with their machine. Probably because somebody was not cleaning the brake lathe and it broke. Oh, I think it actually like cuts vibrations into the rotor or something like that. I don't remember. I don't know. The point is, clean the motherfucking brake lathe, okay? Be considerate. Watch out for the next guy. Because how would you feel if you had this job that you had to do in like 30 minutes? You had a a trans flush that you had to do in 30 minutes, and it's going to take you 5 minutes to empty out the trans machine when somebody else used it before you and didn't flush it. How does that make you feel? Exactly. Think. Moving along. I need to relax because ain't no brake lays here, okay? I'm in my room. I need to chill. Number 5 is always look for an opportunity to do things better the next time around. Just always looking for a way to do whatever job that you previously did better the next time. If you messed up on this brake job, cool, okay, we get it. Like, there's gonna be mistakes. First of all, you're human. Second of all, it's a pretty difficult job in certain cases. Like, certain portions of the job are difficult. Being a technician as a whole, or being a mechanic as a whole. So be, of course, apologetic about like whatever you did wrong in that situation, and just learn from it. Like every single situation, every single time, like make sure you are constantly learning, constantly keeping track of what you did right and what you did wrong. Even if you gotta like write it down in a journal. Like if you want to be really good at this job, write it down. Like I write down stuff to make me better at the job all the time. Like more so for me is to try to remember, like, okay, if I do this in this method like I did last time, then it'll be faster than just doing it this way. I don't know, something like that. Just always look for opportunities to do better. Not just you even in this job, but in life in general, honestly. Don't sweat the last time. Like don't keep on dwelling on it if you messed up before. Like just do what you can to do better, honestly. Redeem yourself. Redeem yourself the next time. I'll constantly learn from each job that you do. Even if you've done that same job 100 times, try to learn from it and in some way, shape, or form. Even if you want to ask other technicians, like more advanced technicians, what you did wrong and how you could do better next time or something like that, 9 times out of 10, they'll probably have an answer for you. If I can just say one sentence to sum it all up, be progressive. Probably shouldn't have said it like that with so much question in my face, but I think I'm trying to say be progressive about everything that you do. Be a sponge. That's what I am. I'm a sponge. My middle name should be Sponge, honestly, because I literally try to soak up as much information as possible, like in everything that I do. Like anything that I have any type of interest in, I try to soak up as much information as humanly possible that could fit in this brain. Like I love knowledge, so that's how I am. That's a suggestion that will work in anything that you want to do. Be a sponge. Try to soak up as much information as you possibly can. Try to remember as much as you can. Try to learn as much as you can at every single given moment. Like literally, I think it's gonna do a lot for you in the long run. What's the worst that could happen from you trying to learn from everything you do? What's the worst? So yeah, to sum it all up, learn from everything you do. Try your best to learn from everything you do. Safety is number 1, quality over quantity, and be a sponge. Learn from everything you do. All right, that was like a sum up of the last 3 things I just said, because I said more than that. Just my advice, take it or leave it. That was pretty much everything I had to say. Looks like it's gonna be a pretty long video, so sorry, but then again, you don't gotta be here. So if you are here, thank you. Hopefully you learned something. I don't know what I want to say. I probably should make an outro, but I don't want to. Okay. I'm gonna say, remember that to fear not, because there's nothing to fear in anything in life, and to love everyone anyway, no matter what. I literally want to tattoo that like right here. Love them anyway. Anyway, thanks for coming, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.